Hey y'all, Sarah here from Sarah Softies. We are going to discuss a new hack that I saw years ago. One of the ladies at the Quilt Guild in Germany that I was in tried to show us how to take a quilt that is a grid, so all the blocks are even sizes, are all the same size, and lay it out once, bring it over to your sewing machine, and not have to get up again until your quilt is pieced. So you don't have to keep relaying out blocks, reorganizing anything. You lay it out once, sew it together, and it's done. Yeah, really cool, but really hard to see when she was trying to explain it. So if you found this video because you saw my little gif of the blocks like popping up on top of each other, awesome. I'm gonna show that again, but I'm actually gonna explain what's happening. And when we are done, we are going to create this little guy. So this is a mini version of whatever quilt you happen to be working on. I just grabbed some 2.5-inch squares so that I could show this to you guys. So it would be really simple and easy for you to be able to see. But I also highly recommend, be right back, poof, doing this technique on my Black Forest Stars quilt. Woo! Look at that. Because this is a grid block, guys. This is a grid block. Once you have trimmed all your pieces, you can put it together using this technique. So lots of little scrappy pieces that you can lay out once, put it away, mark it in such a way that without even marking it, so there's no pens, there's no extra pins, there's nothing. You lay it out once, and then it all depends on how you put it together, like fold it or put it on top of each other. Like I said, you'll see, super easy, highly recommend. And I would like to thank, I'm pretty sure it was Roseanne that tried to show this to us, so thank you. Yeah, and then when you're done, sign up for my mailing list to get this free pattern and use up some of your scraps. Also, if you like my videos, please check out some other ones. I have a bunch of them coming out in April, and I hope you guys have fun. Follow, share, save, follow, all those things. And yeah, I think you guys will really like this. So let's get sewing. All right, so here we have a 5x5 grid, so there's 25 blocks. This works, again, as I mentioned earlier, with any technique as long as it is a grid. So these could all be half square triangles, these could be diamond shapes, they could be anything as long as it's squares overall. So this is the top corner, this is the bottom corner, this could be a collage, whatever. You're going to take column A, or column 1, column 2, 3, 4, 5. Rows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And like I said, this can get as big as you can lay out. So column 2 is going to go upside down, right sides together on column 1. And you're going to go all the way down, column 2 on top of column 1. Then column 3, you're going to take the top one and put it on top. And then put it on top, and on top, and on top. Then you're going to do the same thing with column 4. And I tried to pick fabrics that you'd be able to see right sides together or not. And column 5. And then column 1 and 2 you can do as well. On top, on top, on top, on top. Try to make sure you're not rotating anything, especially if you have directional fabrics that you're working with. Now, this is the side I'm trying to keep track of. So, on top, so 1 and 2, just one on top of 3, on top of 4, on top of 5. And I'm going to put a clip on this side so I remember that that is that row, that edge. And then we're going to take it over to the sewing machine. Alright, so here is where the magic actually starts happening. This is our pile. This is the side that I had marked earlier that I said to, hey, mark this spot. We're going to take it off and we're going to set it just like that. Okay? We're going to leave that right there. You know what? If you want, maybe put the clip down lower just so you don't forget which side you're on, okay? Because that's very important. This side, very important. But we're gonna take the top two that are right sides together, right? This wall we've got marked, and we're gonna put it into the machine. Right sides together, those two, right? And then we're gonna run it through. And then we're gonna do it for the next two. And you're gonna go until you run out of double-sided pieces that are right side together. All right? So bear with me while I get through these. Okay, first row is done. I'm gonna cut it, and then I'm gonna drag it down. I've got 5, right? Oh, what did that do? Oh, there you go. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just know mine was 5 by 5, so I know I should have 5 sets. I know to stop because my next one is right side up. Now we take these, open, and take this one and put it on top of the last piece. So this is now row 1. Run it through. Then open up the next one. Notice how these are all still connected? I chain pieced. Chain piecing. Very awesome. That's what makes this whole little trick work. But now I'm going to go through and one by one add these, and it doesn't really matter the side anymore. Add these to the pile. And run it down. Get to the end, cut, go back to the top, open it up, start again. And I will see you guys at the end. Alright, made it to the end. Cut. And go back up to the top. And then continue on. Next one. So it should be my top. Cut. And now we have these all sewn together. I may have to move the camera in a second here because I don't think you can see all of it. Try to get it all in there. These are all together and they're connected, row to row. Leave them connected, okay? Leave them connected because the next step is to iron. What I like to do is I like to iron one row one way, iron the next row that way. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, we've got them all ironed. You can see these are all ironed this way. The seams are all going opposite directions. That makes for nesting a lot easier. So you take, remember, this is all connected now. Woo, isn't that cool? I like it. So we take it, we lay it on top. So row, I guess this would be row 4 or 5 on top of row 4. Make sure your seams are nested and you run it through. Be back soon. I know what I just did. Gave my mother-in-law a slight heart attack because I just sewed that without ironing, or without pinning, sorry. And she is a pinner and I am not, so I'm just finger pressing this so you guys can kind of see how beautifully those nest up. I mean, don't look too closely. Nobody's perfect, but sew those two together. I like to switch to the other side now and sew these two ends together. I just feel like it gives me less of a mess in the middle, especially when I'm doing a large piece. I just finished using this technique with my quilt Black Forest stars. It is a free quilt you can get when you join my mailing list. And it is a grid. It is a 5x6 block grid. And it uses scraps, which I really like. Oops, what did I do? Oh, caught a piece of thread. Bam. I love using up scraps when I can, but I'm not very good at the scrappy quilts, guys. I can't even try to lie to you. I have a hard time doing completely scrappy, so all my scraps have some sort of organization to it. But now, we sew the next ones together, whatever order you want. If this is really big, like the 6 one, I'll do 2, so 1 and 2 together, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and then I'll sew in. It kind of just depends on how I'm feeling. You don't have to go back and forth with this like you would have to with my quilt that it's not out yet, but it will be soon, called Christchurch. It is strip pieced. It's a bargello of sorts. And when you do strip piecing, you have to sew one direction, then the other direction, then the other direction. And that will keep the quilt from bowing. The pieces from bowing. But this is not that. All these pieces are nested, so you really don't have to worry about it. And now, last one. And I'm gonna flip it over because I always like my shorter piece on top. So, I don't know if that's a quilt thing or if that's a thing, but that's a my thing. That's a Sarah thing. Come on. I have a habit of forcing seams. I could just imagine how many pins my mother-in-law would use on this. At least I always know what to get her for Christmas. So, there you go. And then you just iron it. I like to iron all my back seams one direction. So I'm going to be right back with that so you guys can see it nice and pretty.